Today on the channel, comb your mustache and grab your dog as we got an all-timer from the G.I. Joe Classified series. We've got Mutt and we've got Junkyard.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we've got the latest and greatest in Mutt and Junkyard. But for all your Mutt and Junkyard needs, make sure you hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Use the link in the description down below. And Mutt and Junkyard shipping for Big Bad Toy Store right now. So if you want this, head on to the link below. Grab your Mutt and Junkyard, and you'll want this one, I have a feeling. We'll see how the review goes, but an all-timer here. Of course, a lot of people have a lot of fondness for G.I. Joe figures with animals, myself included. We've talked about it in the past. But I would say Snake Eyes and Timber and Mutt and Junkyard, pretty much the OG two. Obviously, there's Spirit and Freedom, of course. Can't forget them. You can't forget Polly and Shipwreck as well. A lot of all-timers. My favorite, of course, Law and Order from a little later on. But man, Mutt and Junkyard's a great start right here. And we did first see these at San Diego Comic-Con this year. And I've been waiting ever since. And here it is. The time is now here at the beginning of 2024. Is this our first G.I. Joe unboxing of 2024? I believe it is. So we'll see how this one fares in the top 10 year-end list. So we'll get to that in the future. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Without further ado, the plastic is back. There's no hidden packaging on this one. We can see what's going on. There's not going to be anybody playing any tomfoolery games with the figure swapping on this one. But of course, you got Mutt in there. You got Junkyard. I remember as a little kid always getting confused. Wait, which one's Mutt? Which one's Junkyard? It took me a while to figure it out. But of course, Junkyard is the Rottweiler there. Love that he has two different heads with him. You got all the weapons. And of course, you got Mutt himself. He's a dog handler. That's what he is at the end of the day. But a beautiful, beautiful package representation. Going back to the old school G.I. Joe days of just a couple of years ago with the packaging design. Classified series down here. Little glamour shot, comic shot over there. Same one over here. 113, yes, 113 in the line, so we're really getting up there. The quest for 200 Joes begins, and it starts right here today in 2024. All that kind of jibber-jabber QR code stuff on the side over there. And in the back, still no file card, nothing like that. They're calling out some highlights, jibber-jabber down low. But watch out for Crocmaster and his croc back there. Crocodiles, they love to eat dogs. True story. Somebody fact-check that if they want to. Nothing else really going on in the back, though, that I see. But very cool. Looks really cool. I'm here for that all day long and twice on Sunday, as we say. But let's pull them out. See what Mutt and Junkyard are up to. Got the G.I. Joe background looking very, very nice right there. Give the old heave-ho, see you later. Not the traditional, just the heave-ho. That's what that one was. But how about some plastic prison? Look at that. All kinds of stuff going on in here. Let's bust all this stuff out. Oh, boy. We got weapons. You got to have weapons, of course. He's not just handling dogs. He's handling some weapons as well. We're going to pull it out. We got goggles. Oh, my gosh. 3 pairs of goggles. What are we doing here? He's all in on the goggles. Oh, my gosh. We got extra hands. Now, that's a bit of a nice thing with the G.I. Joes is we don't get a ton of extra hands with our G.I. Joe figures, as we do know. Cobra Commander recently with the Hiss tank had some extra hands. Who else had extra hands? There was a couple. There's very few, though. Very few times do we get extra hands. Pop. There goes old Mutt. And can I get Junkyard his head out here? Come on. Come on. There's one. And there's 2. Oh my gosh, a lot of work here. There it is. 3. See you later. Goodbye. Let's dive in. And let's start off with the accessories here, as we've got a lot of accessories to dive in with this one. I guess got an extra head as well for old Junkyard. But we're going to dive in here with these hands, I guess. We'll do it traditional style. What do we got for hands going on? And they're all very, very different by the looks of things. We do got 2 kind of cupping hands here. This one is closed. This one is open at the thumb. but they're both cupping hands. Nice protected gloves. Of course, you're a dog handler for a Rottweiler. Things go south in a hurry. They're attacking somebody. You got to kind of get in there and call them off sometimes. You got to have some good padding, some good protection. Of course, Mutt, he's got a fist if he needs one. Hopefully he's not using it on Junkyard. I don't think there's any claims of animal abuse with Mutt and Junkyard. I don't think there's any of those stories. I don't think Mutt ever left Junkyard in the back of a car or something on a hot day. I don't think that ever happened. Once again, somebody fact check that if they want to. But I think he was good to his dog, I think. There was that one episode where he thought like Junkyard got killed or something, and tears were flowing, so you knew he loved his dog. He loved his dog. Speaking of dogs, I got 3 dogs all piled around me right here. I got Ace and Lemmy under here, and I got Domino sitting on the couch. She's sitting in the Todd McFarlane spot. I don't know where Todd is. Haven't seen him today, but she's sitting in the Todd McFarlane spot there. So the more you know about what's going on the couches over at my house as I do these reviews. Big old open hand here. He's going to say hi. He's going to give somebody a high five. You never know what he might do with that. And then we do got a finger pointing hand. I'm here for that. He's saying, what you gonna do, Junk? He's gonna point at him right there, looking good. Pointer finger, and then you do get the little come here. That's an interesting one. Of course, you know, dogs, you whistle sometimes. Sometimes you just have a snap of the fingers. That's what I do. They're all in the backyard, and I give them one of those, and they all look at me, and then they come. That's what they do. I've trained my dogs well. They're hanging on down here. I guess Junkyard and Mutt, they have this signal between them. They're doing one of those. But a lot of different hands here. I am here for that. Out of the package, of course, 2 gripping hands for weapons. That's what we got with old Mutt, so those do look pretty good. Now diving into the weapons here. He does, like a young big boss man, have a black nightstick. Now, we just saw this recently with Shockwave, getting some reuse out of this, but it feels like it makes sense with Mutt and Junkyard, so I think this works very well there. We do get a little knife. Oh, a little knife. Watch out for those little knives. A nice silver blade, black handle. Looking very good in the knife department. I believe we've seen this one as well. We've definitely seen this pistol in the past, all black, but I love the extra green color. We've had a lot of Walmart G.I. Joe Classified series in the last couple of months, I'd say, that have all been just black and very gummy. This feels very nice, very sturdy. Love the extra color. A little extra point of attention to this goes a long way, so that does look really nice. And you got this big bad boy right here. I mean, this is when things get really serious for Mutt and Junkyard, is when this one comes out. Of course, he does have a magazine here, and to shock of no one, Dog Fancy. Yes, Dog Fancy. In another lifetime, I think Junkyard was in the dog show circuit. Somebody, once again, fact check that. There's going to be a lot of fact checks here. I need somebody off to the side saying, no, that's not right. No, that is right. I need to take some applications for somebody to do that. We'll see what happens there. But looking good. You got the scope on the top. Big time military weapon, and once again, you get that green color against that black. Absolutely fantastic. Makes this look even better than it would have if it was just all black. Then we get down to the goggles. I don't know what's going on here. He's all about the goggles. He's all about the shades. I'm guessing we could probably do the Dusty trick where you put these underneath the helmet to make it a little bit sturdier if you want to. But he's got 2 different sets of goggles. One really thick. I guess this one goes over his helmet. This one goes just on his head, so you can choose your own goggle adventure at the end of the day. But very interesting they go that deep into the line. We got to appreciate stuff like that from Hasbro, from the G.I. Joe Classified line. And then we do get a little mask action. I believe this is actually Junkyard's mask. I think this goes over his face. We'll have to see. But I think you put this over that. Of course, you know, K9, you put him up when you got to lock him away. Junkyard's been bad. He's been biting people. You got to put this on him. It's like he's going to the vet or something. He doesn't like to get his teeth done or something. Who knows? Who knows? But let's dive in here now. And I guess we're going to go to Junkyard. We'll go animals first. Why wouldn't we? Now, Junkyard looking really, really cool right here. All day long, you know this is a Rottweiler. I can see somebody buying this just because it's a Rottweiler. Hey, I got Rottweilers at home. I'm going to buy one of these. I could see that happening, but it just all day long looks like Junkyard. I love the red studded collar looking beautiful on him. And then you get down to the face here. You got some teeth showing. He's angry. Junk's angry here. He smells something bad going on. But man, Junkyard all day long, Rottweiler all day long in the face. And then the coloring with the black and brown. Very iconic to a Rottweiler, as we do know. Articulation, of course, head is removable, so that just popped off very easy, maybe too easy, actually. Yeah, that pops off pretty easy, so I guess beware of that. Maybe when you articulate, if you move too far, bam, just pops right off. But it does have articulation at the head, a lot of articulation. Then you got articulation at the neck. I really appreciate something like that. You got articulation at the legs. I guess we'll call the front legs, back legs. They both do spread out. You could do those Junkyard splits like he's on an ice skating rink or something, I guess. You do got a bend at the elbow. You do got a bend at the ankle, and you got a bend at the paw. So a lot of articulation for him here. Got beautiful dog paws on the bottom here. Of course, no hole here. He's not going to fit on a stand, unfortunately. He does got his big old vest on, and then you got the handle here for Mutt to hold on to him if need be. But you do got this looking very, very nice. You do get a waist articulation as well, so you can get upside down. There's all kinds of different articulation you could do. Up, down, back, forth, side to side. Plenty of articulation. No tail articulation. He's got that little Rottweiler nub over there. But it looks really, really good. This definitely looks like, of course, Junkyard. Now this one, he's a good boy. Oh, give this guy a treat. He's got his tongue hanging off to the side. Maybe this one could be, Mutt left him in the back of the squad car too long, too. That could be that one. But it looks like he's hot. He's got a little bit of side eye going on like a young Todd McFarlane, who's not on the couch. Domino, my dog, in his place today. But definitely looks good. You want happy-go-lucky, I'm going to pet this dog, or this dog's going to bite my hand off. You can choose your own dog adventure at the end of the day, and we've been waiting to choose our own dog adventure for far too long. Today is the day here, so cannot beat this. There's no way around it. I did grab Timber. We've gotten 2 Timbers so far, but you can kind of see that difference between a dog and a wolf. Great friends, though, at the end of the day. Teaming up to take on Cobra is what they're doing. And I've talked about it in the past. When I was a kid, I'd have all of the dogs, the wolves, and the birds, everything. I'd have Freedom join in, of course, Polly. I'd have Mutt Junkyard, Law and Order. I'd have all the animals team up to rescue the Joes. It was always, when the chips are down, the dogs and the animals are going to save you. I would do that back in my playing days. But you can definitely see the difference between these, but very, very cool for longtime Joe fans to get these animals, as they were a big part. And as I always say on the channel, if a guy had an animal of any kind, he immediately went to the top of my want list. It always felt like an extra figure thrown in for free. Maybe that was just me. Absolutely did love that. I got to check this head, or this mask before I forget. I almost forgot all about that. I believe this goes over his face. I believe. Don't quote me on this. Maybe not. This must be for Mutt. It's not for Junkyard. It is not. So it must be for him. So that's an interesting turn of events. We'll see how that goes as I lose the head there. Oh my gosh, and the collar is removable as well, so be careful on that. Pop that back on. Make sure nothing goes south there. There we go. Okay. Junkyard, you hang off to the side. It's Mutt's time to shine now. And I guess this is a mask for Mutt. Who knew? Who knew? He's got a little bit of mask there. So you got a mask for him and goggles. So the more you know, the more you know. Well, let's dive in on this one. We're going to start to the head. Now he's got a scratch on his face. 2 scratches. Did he get bit or scratched by Junkyard? I find that very hard to believe. I don't see that happening here. Does this look like Mutt to me? I don't know. I know Mutt. I always thought of Mutt and Bazooka could be like related. They always felt and looked very similar. Obviously, it was the push broom underneath their nose. Maybe that was it. But he's got a beautiful push broom here. He's also got a mad face. He's grinning and bearing it right here. I don't know what he's up to. But I guess this looks good enough. It looks all right to me. But the scratches on his face definitely say he's been in the kennel, I guess we'll say right there. But he's got a nice black hairdo you could set your watch to. My grandma would probably let him in. He does got the 5 o'clock shadow going on down low. And then, man, he's got some serious chest hair poking out of his shirt. He's also got some serious hair on those forearms. Looking very interesting. He's a hairy beast, this guy right here. Very, very hairy looking guy, no doubt about it. Now he's got his green jumpsuit over the top, of course his shirt and pants, that iconic Mutt green color. And then you got the brownish kind of color here for the holster, for the belt. Of course the vest with that iconic red straps over the top. That's one thing that always stuck out in my brain. He's got a little bit of an insignia right there, and he's got some things sculpted in throughout. Got a plot to hold his knife right there in the vest, so he's ready to go. He does have a peg hole in the back, no backpack here. But if you want to add one, you can definitely do that. We talked about the gloves here. He's got the gloved hands. Probably makes sense when you're dealing with a dog. And then he does got a little wrist. Why not a watch, I guess. I guess just a wristband over here. But that is removable, so be careful when you take the hands out. You could lose that. Got some pockets sculpted in, of course, on his shirt, onto his pants, all over. Brown boots looking very good on him. He's even got a little bit, I guess that's pepper spray sculpted in on the back of his belt there. So in case the dogs get out of whack or something, he could spray them if he needs to. I don't know. But an interesting looking figure, no doubt about it. Now we do get a helmet with him. And when I think of him, I always do think of him with the helmet. I believe was the original Joe figure. No, you could remove it. You could remove it. So it could be removed back in the day if you wanted to. And it is a very big helmet here. So it doesn't fit extremely tight, but I think it's one of those ones where you could put this one over the back of the head, just like we talked about with Dusty and I believe General Hawk as well. You put it around on the back like a headband, and then you can put that helmet right over the top, and it gives it a lot more snug feeling. So if you want to do that, it's a place to store it. You can also give a little bit more snug feel for this helmet, not going to fall off on you or anything like that. Then this extra set of goggles would go over the top of the helmet. That's what I always think of with him, with the goggles being over the top of the helmet on him. So you can choose your own goggle adventure, choose your own helmet adventure with him. We're definitely here for that. Now the arms, of course, go all the way around here. We do get a butterfly shoulder looking nice. Bicep cut, and proud to report, double jointed pinless elbows. I'm here for that all day long. Hands removable back and forth, side to side. Waist articulation looking good. I want to say there's an ab crunch in there, but we'd never know because that vest is on there. The vest is not removable on him. We do get the big old splits. Look at that. Oh my goodness. He's ready to split on anything if he needs to. Of course, you got the drop down hips like we're accustomed to with the Joe brand. Thigh cut. Double jointed. Pinless knees. Very tight over here. Boot cut looking good. Ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. Here for that. Beautiful free-flowing articulation. Very, very nice tight joints on this. Maybe a little bit too tight on the knees, but they do get worked through if you need to. Almost forgot a ringside stand. Of course, got Mattel ringside collectible stand. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Make sure you get the Mattel stand. What do you know? Fits perfectly on that stand. I guess we could have guessed that. All the other ones seem to as well. But old Mutt looking real nice. Junkyard looking even better. Man, talk about a twosome that is must-have in the G.I. Joe classified line. Absolutely love these two. So happy to get these guys here. Just a perfect pairing. Glad they put them together. I don't think they would have ever separated them, but it is one of those sets that, of course, this is a deluxe figure, a little bit more expensive than your traditional single Joe, but it works. You get a ton of accessories. You get an animal, which is so exciting. There's a lot to like about this set. I love it. I'm here for it. This is one of my favorite Joes from back in the day, so there's no doubt about it. Had to have this in my collection. I'm sure a lot of you guys and gals are feeling the same as I am about this one right here. I'm bringing a couple of other guys here. How about Sergeant Slaughter? We got Bazooka, which I always thought, like I said, they were kind of related or good friends or something. And then, of course, Gung Ho. We call this the G.I. Joe Mustache Brigade is what we got going here. These guys don't mess around when it comes to a mustache, and these are guys you don't want to meet in a dark alley because they'll mess you up. That's what they will do with their mustaches. But man, Mutt Junkyard, looking good, feeling good, a must-have pickup if you do ask me. Absolutely love this one. But how about you guys and gals out there in YouTube land? Is this a must-have for you? A long game, a no game? The dreaded no game? It can't be, can it? Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments down below. And, of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content, if you can believe it, over on Patreon, as you do get early access to both YouTube channels' videos, bonus content, Q&As, giveaways, pizza stuff, dog stuff, you name it, it's all going on over there at the old Patreon channel. And Patreon, the best way to support this very YouTube channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for the mighty Mutt Junkyard, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.